Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation by Ambika Prasad Research Foundation. So today we will start our Orchids of Odisha part 11. So today we will start our orchid on Dendrobium herbaceum. So Dendrobium herbaceum, commonly it is known as grassy dendrobium. You will know about this common name when you will see in the later slide why this common name is associated to this particular orchid. So this is the scientific classification: kingdom, plantae, phylum, Tracheophyta, classes, Liliopsida, order Asparagus, family Orchidaceae, genus Dendrobium, species Dendrobium herbaceum. So this is the scientific classification. Then comes the habit and habitat. So it is an epiphytic orchid and it is mostly found in the moist deciduous or semi-evergreen forest, and its altitude is mainly, or height is mainly 600 meter or more than that. So it is mostly seen in greater height. Mean you will always see this particular orchid in greater height due to it need more light to bloom, flower, or for the reproduction of this particular orchid. So for this orchid the specific host plants are sal forest area. So in particularly in the sal forest area you will see this orchid that will avail in the greater height due to it needs more light. And one thing that I have seen in the forest, this particular orchid has very much tolerant capacity, that in mining areas we have seen this particular orchid in a greater population than in normal forest areas, because it has adapted to that particular atmosphere. So it has a very tolerance capacity of this particular orchid to to settle down in any atmosphere areas. Now you can see the leaf part. So the leaf are alternate and sessile, a linear lanceolate and subacute. As you can see this in this picture, it is the original photo that we have taken. The host plant is sal trees, as in Soria robusta. So as you can see this orchid, this is the leaf that we have seen in the forest. So now come the most interesting and one of the beautiful thing of this particular orchid, that the flower is greenish whitish, sepals are subequal, dorsal oblong, lanceolate, and the connate column connate along column foot forming a mentum. So petals are erect and narrowly elliptic to lanceolate. So leaf are curved at the base, ovate, lanceolate. So this is the flower structure, as you can see. Then this is the flower anatomy of Dendrobium herbaceum. So the upper one is dorsal sepal, then the two lateral one is lateral petal, then the lateral one come is lateral sepal, then one you can see the lip or labellum. So it is one of the modified petals. Then you can also see the column. Under the column there is two pollen. So mainly you can remember this as 3s 2p 1l 1c. So this is one of the flower anatomy of Dendrobium herbaceum. Then comes the Dendrobium association with other species. It has some symbiotic associationship with other species or not. So mainly we have seen that in host plant where this Dendrobium herbaceum is attached to that, it has mosses and fern. So mosses and fern that gives food and nutrition to this particular orchid to survive in that particular atmosphere. It is one of the associate species that we have seen, that if these mosses or fern will be there, then the Dendrobium herbaceum will also be there. So it is also one of the key character that you can identify or you can find it in the forest. So apart from food and nutrition, it also gives one moist structure or moist areas for this orchid to grow or to thrive. Then comes the medicinal uses. This specific orchid has some medicinal uses or not. So far as I have seen or I have collected from literature and from field surveys areas, that this particular orchid has no report of medicinal uses. Maybe because of some population declining of this particular orchid, that it has no medicinal value, or someone has not worked on this particular orchid. So it is one of the gap that I have seen, that this particular orchid has no medicinal uses that till are reported right now. So it is one of the fact that I have also collected one information, that the Dendrobium species, means particularly the Dendrobium species, they possesses the properties of like antifungal, antibacterial and neuroprotective. But this particular orchid, this Dendrobium herbaceum, is not till now has no medicinal uses because no one has reported on this particular orchid. So it is one of the gap. So we have to fill it out and know about its medicinal uses, so it can be beneficial. And we have to also mean make it a good amount of this population, so that it can also be useful for some other works, because it has one of the most beautiful, and it has one capacity that it can tolerate to any atmosphere. So as I have told earlier, that this particular orchid we have seen in mining areas. So in mining areas, this particular orchid can survive, and it's blooming at very much amount, and it has a very much population than the normal forest areas. So how to identify this particular orchid? So this particular orchid, first we have to know that when the flowering is starting, or the when the leaf is seen. So mainly the leaf shed by November. New leaves come up among the developing shoots during June, and the floral shoot appear in early February after leaf fall off. Then it developed fast within a week to flower for the next year. So you can first know about this month, then when is the period of this particular orchid, uh, that it is blooming or not at that particular month. So as we have seen that this particular orchid bloom at early February. At every year, this early February or in February, this particular orchid bloom. Then how you can identify it? So it has a branched stem and a very small white flower. So this is one of the special characteristics of this orchid, that this small flower is only be seen in Dendrobium herbaceum. Other Dendrobium species has not small flower like this. So as I have told you earlier, that the flowering starts at the month of early February and early April, and flower lasts only for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Not more than that you will see this particular flowering of this orchid. So it only lasts for 2 weeks. As we have seen in the forest, that this particular orchid, the population is decreasing due to the mining properties, or due to the habitat clearance, or due to many other reasons behind this particular orchid is diminishing. So as I have seen, that this particular orchid we have restored in Tensa Nature Camp because this particular orchid has very good tolerant characteristics that it can be used further to know about its medicinal uses, that how that it has some medicinal uses, that it can fight some other diseases that can be cured from this orchid. So mainly the restoration work we have done uh, in Tensa Nature Camp and many other places. So as you can see, this is the original photo that we have taken, and we have also restored it. So the restoration process can be done by collecting the orchid from the forest areas, the orchids that are fallen by the pressure of wind, and from the dead wood trees. So from that we have collected that orchid and we have restored in the particular area where we can conserve it, and we can do watering it at the particular time, so it will get settled down to that particular host plant. So as you can see in that picture, that we have restored the orchid in sal associated forest areas, the mainly the host plant, as we have seen the sal trees. So this is all for this particular orchid, Dendrobium herbaceum. So thank you for watching. Hope you like this video and keep subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will get the notification of the new video that will upload in some days. So thank you.